Hi, my name is Daniel Xu. I am the co-founder and owner of the online clothing boutique.com. This is my first video I've ever made for YouTube or ever posted on the internet, but I thought it was important to tell you my experience of applying to the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. Unfortunately, it's not a good experience, and so that's why I feel so strongly about sharing it. So let me tell you a little bit about myself because this is the information that went into my application to FIT New York. In 2002, I graduated from the University of California at Berkeley, Walter A. Haas School of Business with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration. It's the degree, the program has been ranked consistently on U.S. News and Report as the third best business school in the nation for probably over 10 years now. In fact, the year that I got accepted, I believe the acceptance rate for transfer students, which I was about 11%, if I remember correctly. I graduated with a 3.6 GPA from a very tough program. Years later, this is just stuff that went into the application. In 2007, I was accepted and received a master's in finance from London Business School. London Business School was just ranked the #1 program for that kind of program, which is a finance-oriented program by Financial Times Magazine. So also a very tough program to not only get into, but also to go through because it's a one-year program, but actually it's only a 9-month program to get a master's degree. So it's pretty intense. Anyways, but during 2007, during my master's in finance, my girlfriend and I we started the online clothing boutique.com. Actually, back then it was TILdarling.com. It was part of our student project, but in reality, we wanted to just open up the online clothing store. And we just made it into our student project. And actually since then, even though I moved back to the United States in 2008, I've been working on that business for, I guess, almost 4 years now. We're not a successful business, actually. I think I've paid myself maybe $200 in salary since then. Since starting the business, and that was to pay probably, I don't know, a student loan or my car payment, something like that. So, not a successful business, but I've been working on it for a long time, and I'm going to give it 2 more years, and let's hope in 2 more years it'll be a successful business. But anyways, knowing that I'm giving myself such a 2 more years, that would be 5 years in total, I decided to apply to a fashion merchandising program. I mean, that would make sense. I mean, that's one of the big holes in my resume is I don't really have a fashion background. I mean, obviously I have a heavy business background, but nothing specific to fashion. And so I applied to FIT's online 1-year accelerated fashion merchandising marketing associate's degree program. So it's not even the bachelor's degree, it's an associate's degree. It's a 1-year intensive. And so the requirements to get in are, so this is my assumption. From what I've read from their website. So it's an online program, which means it's a distance learning program. I live in San Francisco Bay Area, and FIT is in New York, so I'm not going to be, I can't go to campus, so I need to do distance learning if I wanted to attend their school. The 1-year accelerated is only for people who have an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree already. So it's not like I'm overqualified in the sense that I'm taking a space from someone who's coming out from high school because they're not allowed to apply to the program anyways, or they're not appropriate to apply to the program. So and it's not fashion design, so it's fashion merchandising marketing, which is a business-oriented degree program. And so my academic and past work experience all points to that I have, you know, somewhat the right appropriate background for the program. And I can't say I'm overqualified, because if I was overqualified, quite honestly, I'd be a millionaire by now, right? Which I'm very, very far from. So in many ways, I feel I was or am a good fit for that program. So on June 22nd, I submitted my application for the fall 2011 semester. And I really did pay attention to it. I mean, when I do, if I'm going to put an application, I really, I don't half-ass it. I focus my attention on it. So I actually took about 2.5 days to write the short essay, and actually, I'm very good at writing essays. I scored in the 96th percentile on the English and English/grammar/logic on the GMAT, which is obviously not very easy to do. And so submitted my application June 22nd. A month went by, and I saw, actually, here's the thing, this is actually an important part. I saw all the way up until the last week of July, they were still accepting applications for this specific program, the one-year online, one-year accelerated associate's degree program in fashion merchandising marketing. So almost the whole month after I submitted my app, they were still accepting applications. So the first week of August, I called the admissions office asking if there was a decision made about my application. The person on the phone told me no, they had not made a decision, and for sure I was going to get the decision letter before the start of the semester, which is August 29th. That's on their academic calendar. First day of semester is August 29th. That's the first day of class. So 2 weeks went by, and I called on August 18th. At that point, I just asked the person on the phone, if I haven't received a decision letter at this point, should I assume that I've been rejected? Because, this is August 18th, the first day of the semester is August 29th. The person on the phone said they took my social security number and they looked up whatever, and they said, no, there actually hasn't been a decision made on your application, and I shouldn't consider that as a rejection because there was still room in the program. So that's also another important part. On the same day, I wrote an email. I'm not sure before or after I called, essentially asking the same question: if I haven't received a decision, should I take that as a rejection? On August 23rd, I received an email from them, and they said no, because they haven't made a decision. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, on August 18th, that second time I called, they said I would receive a decision definitely before August 29th, the beginning of the semester. So the email I received on the 23rd said no, I shouldn't take it as a rejection because they make decisions up until the beginning of the semester, which is August 29th, right? So they make a decision up until August 29th, so they can make a decision on the 28th, 27th, and so on and so forth. Anyways, so the Saturday rolls along. That's the last day to get any letter from the U.S. Postal Service or any whatever private carrier, and I hadn't received a letter. So from what I can tell, they did not make it, despite being told 3 times, they did not make a decision before August 29th. I called August 29th, and on the person who answered, I mentioned I was told 3 times. Trust me, I'm always very nice. You can tell, I try to be very nice all the time. I believe in good karma, so I'm always very cordial. I told them I was told 3 times I would receive a decision before the 29th. It didn't happen. Can you please let me know what happened? They took my social security number again. I guess whatever I think they saw that honestly, I'm pretty sure they saw that there wasn't a decision made. and she told me, oh, I have to transfer you to a counselor. You have to talk to a counselor. So she transferred me to a counselor, and I just get the voicemail, and I say the same thing. I was told 3 times I was going to get a decision before today, which was the 29th. Can I please get an it seems weird to me what happened, right? The next day, August 30th, which is actually today, I get a voicemail and an email saying that I forgot. I emailed also, I emailed on the 29th. But this time in the email, I was very more specific, voicing my suspicion about how it really seemed like they did not review my application before the 29th. And basically, anything after the on or after the 29th, they aren't going to admit students because the semester already started. They already filled the classes. It's impossible to get in. So it was, my suspicion was that they never reviewed the application. And I wrote that in the email, and because I mentioned to them how I called, and they all said I was going to get a decision for sure before the 29th. And, it didn't happen. Okay, so on the 30th, which is today, this is the day I'm making this video, I get an email and a call from them. The counselor, she called and left a voicemail saying, in the email, I'm sorry, I had to keep on going back. I asked specifically if a decision was made, when it was made, and when was the letter or when was the decision letter postmarked. Because I knew if it was postmarked on the 29th or after, they had not done their job. They had not reviewed the application when they had to. Because it's impossible for me to get accepted when the semester started. Okay. So in the voicemail that I received, they said the program is full, unfortunately, and the decision was made yesterday, which is August 29th, the day the semester already started, which means it's impossible to get in, which only the logical induction tells me that they never reviewed my application before I called them and the semester started, blah, blah, blah. And here's the problem is that, in the email, they just said the program is full, I could reapply again. So they didn't say much. Here's the thing. Remember I mentioned I applied on June 22nd, and they were accepting applications for almost an entire month after that? That means they could be accepting $50 application fees for a program that is, I guess, technically full. So it's like they kind of have to decide which, they have to kind of decide which lie they want to stick with. Because, well, if they're sticking with the idea that I applied on June 22nd, that was too late, the program's full, but yet they're accepting application fees for a whole nother month, you could pretty much file a class action suit because, basically you're just taking application fees for a program that has no room, right? So they just take $50 from everyone, right? It's unethical. Or if they want to fess up to the idea that, well, they just never reviewed my application until it was too late, which would be a little bit more logical induction, especially since, almost all proof for me shows they didn't see my application up until I called them, and it was too late anyways. So that's my story about my application experience. So mind you, I paid $50 to apply. I paid another $35 for transcripts to be sent to them. And from what I can tell, they didn't review my application for all the money I paid. So if that's not getting ripped off, I honestly don't know what is. So spread the word. I guess the reason I'm making this video is because I want this to go viral and let FIT and any other school out there know they can't just take $50 from people with no real intention of actually doing the work intended for that. Okay, so if you have any questions, or please visit my website, theonlineclothingboutique.com. Okay, thanks. Bye.